In this video, I'm going to show you how to do keyword research for blog posts. My name is Paul Tobey from trainingbusinesspros.com. Thanks for joining me. I've been doing keyword research now for many years, essentially since the early 2000s. And while the process for doing keyword research has changed dramatically over the years, the concept is relatively the same. Finding keyword phrases that people actually use and showing up in a Google search results page for those keyword phrases. So in this video, I'm going to talk about four things. The first one is how to do some free keyword research and what are the limitations associated with that. Number two, when you make a small investment, and I'm going to tell you exactly what that investment is, you can get a much better keyword phrase for your blog posts. And the third thing is where to take those keyword phrases that you've got and put them in your blog post. In other words, where do they need to go in order for that blog post to rank? And then finally, if you stick around for number four, I'm going to show you a very little known traffic strategy that could potentially create 10 times or even 100 times the amount of traffic that you would expect. And we're going to get started right now. Okay, so the process of doing keyword research is very different for a popular website versus potentially a new website or your website. So, for example, a company like Narcity, if you take a look at my screen here, I did a little bit of research on Narcity, which is essentially a blog or a weblog or an online magazine, all basically the same, or they got 5.8 million visitors in the month of May. Now, if your website gets 5.8 million visitors, you can pretty much write your own ticket. For example, let's say we go to Google and we type in Leafs fans offended. Even with a simple keyword phrase like that, Narcity shows up number one for a post that was written 2 hours ago. So they have a distinct advantage over most of us because their website is popular and Google ranks the entire website, not just one blog post. So even if it was posted a couple hours ago, it does very well. How do you get traffic away from a website like Narcity? And the answer is you're going to need to find keyword phrases that are a bit longer, what we call long tail keyword phrases. Let me first show you a free way to do that. So you're going to log into your Google Ads account. Now, if you don't have a Google Ads account, all you need to do is go to ads.google.com and start one. Now, the results that they'll give you are pretty much estimates, but if you pay a little bit of money for advertising, then your estimates get a lot more accurate. So essentially, just go to Tools and Settings, click on Keyword Planner, click on Discover New Keywords, and we're going to pick a search area like North America, so Canada and the United States. Great. Let's click Save. And then we start with whatever keywords we want. Let's say drop out of university. Get results. So what it does is it shows you the average monthly searches for that keyword phrase, which is 390, and other keyword phrases that are related to that. So if you look at average monthly searches and you sort from top to bottom, it starts with 390, then 170, and then it goes all the way down to 10, and then it starts getting into 0. Now, this is a good system because it gives you and suggests keyword phrases to use for your blog, and it tells you how many people actually do that. What are the limitations? Well, one of the main limitations is it doesn't tell you what your competition is. In fact, if Narcity uses the same keyword phrase that you're using, what happens? Who's going to win that? And typically websites like Narcity will win out. Now, what I would suggest that you do is pick keyword phrases that have a lower search volume and a longer length. In other words, I'm thinking 6 words, 7 words, 8 words, and even more is a better place to start. The problem with Google Ads is it doesn't give you those keyword phrases in detail. So for example, let's say if I put a filter in here and I say, based on the keyword, for example, what to say. In other words, if I want to write a post on what to say to your kid who wants to drop out of university, you can see that it doesn't show me any search results. None of the keyword phrases that it shows me use drop out of university along with the words what to do. So what do you do now? Well, again, that's the limitation of Google Ads. So now what we're going to do is we're going to show you a little bit better system, but it's a paid system. So just like I got this traffic statistics for Narcity from SEMrush, we're also going to do something really different with SEMrush. So we're going to go to Keyword Magic Tool, and we're going to take questions, because I feel that if people are asking the questions online, it's a good idea to make a blog post about answering those specific questions. And then over here on advanced filters, we're going to go from word count. We're going to start at 8. And then we're going to put in the word drop out of university. And let's do a search for that. And you can see now that the search results are very different than Google. Now, it's getting its information from Google, but it's getting it through a different manner than Google Ads. So again, there's a lot of questions here to answer. How to drop Full Sail University. Can I drop out of university and go back? What to say to your kid who wants to drop out of university? You know, all of these questions are really relevant to your particular post. Now, I would suggest you don't start your blog post until you find a keyword phrase. So now that we have that information, we're going to go into our blog, and I'm just using WordPress here. We're going to go to posts and add new. And let's assume that the keyword phrase is how to do keyword research for blog posts, which is the keyword phrase that I searched for before I started making this video. And so that's the first place to put it. You want to put it in the title. As soon as you put it there, WordPress is automatically going to generate that in 2 places. It's going to make an H1 tag, and it's going to make a title for the page, and it's also going to make a URL. So 3 places. So that's pretty important. Title, URL, and the H1 tag. The other place that you want to do it is you want to take that same keyword phrase, and using Yoast SEO, which is a simple free plugin for WordPress, you're going to take all of these out. Just leave the title, which is the H1 tag. And then we want to make sure that we put it in the description along with some other words up to 160 characters. So we've got it in the title now, the URL, the description, and the H1 tag just by doing those 2 things. The next thing is please use it in your article. In your blog post, put it a couple of times, and also maybe with some alt tags. So title, URL, description, and H1 tag, those are the most important places. Now I said to you, if you stuck around till the end, I would share with you a very little used and relatively unknown traffic strategy that could potentially generate 10 times or even 100 times the amount of traffic that a blog post would get. And here is that exact traffic strategy. It is to use YouTube. The interesting thing about YouTube is you can not only rank for YouTube search results, but you can also rank for Google search results probably a lot quicker than you expected. For example, the research that we've been doing here is dropping out of university, and through that system of SEMrush and the keyword magic tool, do you remember that? I did a keyword research and I found the search term, what to say to your kid who wants to drop out of university. Now that I go to Google and I search for that term, you can see that my video here ranks in YouTube, and this video was posted yesterday. So that's pretty interesting. It's not as impressive as Narcity, who ranks for least fans get offended, and it is a long tail keyword phrase, but it's still impressive that a YouTube video ranks here in the search results after 1 day. And now, I gotta tell you, my YouTube channel is not that popular. In fact, I'd really appreciate it if you went and subscribed now, because it's a relatively new channel, and we're trying to build up some traffic for that channel. And using this strategy, it works really well. If we actually go to YouTube and we search for what to say to your kid who wants to drop out of university, you can see that I rank number 1. This is an ad up here. I rank number 1, and you can see I've only got 1 view, and it was posted 1 day ago. Now, that's because there is only like 30 people a month searching for that keyword phrase. So it'll pick up steam though, and it'll start to get other keyword phrases as a result. But you can see the guy below me has 2.5 thousand views. He posted it 7 months ago. So potentially I have the opportunity to get 2.5 thousand views over the next 7 months, which is a lot more traffic than any of my blog posts have ever gotten. So I hope this was valuable to you. I'm glad you stuck around till now. If you want to ask any questions about this strategy or anything else that we talk about here on Training Business Pros, please post it in the comments below. I look forward to seeing you in another video.